Okay, this is my first attempt at a self-help video. Just for the sake of everybody else's concern, I'm going to show you the gun is unloaded. No magazine in the bottom. Hammer down. Okay. So anyways, I shoot in competitions, and I wanted to get a little bit of an advantage with a 10-round magazine as opposed to an 8-round magazine. So I purchased 4 ProMag magazines, and they came with a sleeve installed, which when I tried to use it with my magwell that I have installed, it won't go in far enough to lock. So I just took the sleeve off. The problem after that came into play when I would put, these are dummy rounds, you can see the red ends. They're just dummy rounds, they're not live rounds. But this is for an example to show you the problem that I ran not running a sleeve. This is the original sleeve. So I hate to do this because it's such a pain to undo, but when you go to slide lock and you drop the expended magazine, 8-round or whatever, and you put this in and you jam it in, now you're, well, that time it worked. Typically though, this goes in way beyond the point, and now it locks and jams. So I deducted that this was going in beyond the limits of the mag stop or mag release stop. So to verify this, I removed my grips as such, down rapidly with a T-handle. Take that off. Set those over there. Okay, so I don't know if you can still see it on here or not. May have rubbed off a little bit, but if you notice on this magazine, I have a little silver mark on there, and if you can see it in there, right here is a silver mark as well. This is the mark, or the point where the gun actually locks, the magazine actually locks into place in the gun without going too far. If you can notice what's happening when the slide is all the way locked back, when you force the magazine in, it's going beyond those marks. As you can see right there, that mark and that mark are too far apart, and it doesn't pop back out like that when there's rounds in the magazine, and it's locking up, and you can't hit slide release, you can't pull the slide back, you can't pull the magazine out, you're just stuck until you can. Typically I've been using a Sharpie and trying to push down on the magazine to get it back to the point where I can do something and get it out. So anyhow, I determined, okay, that's what the sleeve is for. The sleeve is to keep the magazine, when it doesn't have a magwell on it, it butts up against the bottom of the frame. Such, I can't show you because I don't have the magazine well, or the magwell off. So anyways, if I just ran, this is the sleeve before I modified it, and if you put that on there the way it came, and you push this in there, now you'll notice that the magazine does not go in far enough. Those 2 points there, and it will not go any farther. So this has to be modified for, and I imagine it may be different for every different type of magwell, but for this one, and these are the only magazines that I plan on using and the only gun, I modified them to have a rounded chamfered edge to where it will seat farther into the magwell when you push it in and lock in place, as you can see there. So now it doesn't come back out, and it would release with the rounds in it. I can show you with no problems. Put this back on here. gun. Works fine, no problems. So the way I did that, I took a file, and you can see the difference in the two there, and I just filed this down on all three sides and kind of rounded the corners, and I did it to the point that, it's hard to see here, but to where it just fit into those edges, that it's seated in there. I didn't go any farther because then the magazine would drive farther in beyond the point that it's supposed to and create the problem. So I took a file and filed and filed and filed and filed. I have two more I have to do. There's one that's finished, one that's not finished. You can see the difference in them. So the other two that I'm going to do, I have a Dremel out in the garage that I'm going to use to grind the back sides and the edges off. But if you're running a different type of magwell, you may need to seat yours differently. So I can't give you a dimension on this as far as it needs to be this far or that far. You just have to work it into your gun, and keep in mind that if you take too much off, you're going to run into the same problem, and you can't put that back on, so don't go too far. And if you're running two different guns with two different magwells, they may fit differently, so you may run into that, and once you've taken so much off, you can't put it back on. So all that said, that is where I stand with my 4 spacers on my ProMag magazines, which everybody swears up and down are a piece of junk, which is fine. But these are paid for, so I'm going to use them as best I can. It's only competition. I'm not using it for life or death situations. Everybody says use Chip McCormick's. I have a friend of mine who shoots competition. He used Chip McCormick's. He said his did the exact same thing. So, and he doesn't run a magwell, and they were jamming in too far. I believe he probably doesn't have the spacer on there, and when you don't have a spacer on there and you push it in beyond its limit, it can and does get stuck in there, and then you are out of luck. So best of luck to y'all. Enjoy. Hope this helps somebody. Thanks.